Hey you guys, it's Keri and welcome back to my table of three. Today I thought I would show you how I do a little bit of batch cooking. Today I'm going to be working on proteins for the weekend. It is actually Friday and it's about 10:25 and I have to work this afternoon at home. I work from home. I do have a new job that I get to work from home. I don't actually have to leave the house anymore. A little too close, sorry. I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit later video. Hopefully next week I'll have that up to share a little bit about that, but today I have to work this afternoon, and so my main thing is I want to get some protein done for the weekend for tonight's dinner after I get off at 6. I don't want to have to worry about what dinner's going to be, and then I'm also cooking some of this for Sunday and lunches. So I'm going to get started by showing you what I chose to cook. The first thing I do when I batch cook is I decide how many nights I want to cook for, and usually I do meal prep, but I call batch cooking a little bit different. I cook a lot of one thing, like proteins or sides or snacks, and today it's proteins. It's really been rainy and nasty and wet here. I know a lot of you guys are probably getting snow still, but here in Arkansas, we do have spring-like weather. Lots of rain, but it's finally sunny today and I'm excited about getting outside and getting Nate some playtime, and so I'm going to do batch cooking outside on the grill. It's going to be our first time for the season. I love to grill, and this is something I do often in meal prep and batch cooking. So today I'm just going to be working on protein. I have a lot of pork and chicken in my freezer, so that's what you're going to see. I'm going to have some grilled chicken breasts for lighter, lower fat proteins, and just because I like the white meat better than dark meat. And then I've got pork chops and then some pork steaks. And like I said, this is a big batch for us, a family of 3, so it'll last us for a while, and I wanted to show you guys how I do it. So let's get started, and I'll show you how I have my proteins laid out and talk to you a little about those, and then I'll take you outside and show you how I get the grill ready. Okay, here is just a quick overview of my workstation, getting my proteins ready. Hopefully you guys can see these. I'm also doing some work over here between prepping. So let me adjust the light a little bit so y'all can see. Okay, so these are some large pork steaks. You can see, and you can see they're pretty thick. So we'll cut that in half for 2 pieces. These thicker big pieces, these, and then and there's another big steak there, pork steak, and then these are just thin cut pork chops. And then this is the chicken breast. They come really large like this in a large pack. I think my pack was 5 pounds, and I got it for 79 cents a pound, you guys. So I was really excited about that. I have a ton of this in my freezer, so I'm just slicing it up into smaller, like chicken fingers. So it's easier to grill. It'll get done a lot quicker, and it just divides up easier amongst the bags and our nights of dinner. So I have one more to cut up, and I'm just going to do that, and then I will season it. And I've already seasoned all my pork, and what I just season it with is salt, onion powder, and garlic powder. I get these 2 from Aldi, and they're a staple in my house because we love onion powder and garlic powder. This kosher salt is really a coarse ground. We love it. There's no fillers in it. It's just salt, and you hear, let's see if it'll focus. Just salt. So a lot of salts have fillers in them today, and I've heard negative things about them. I don't know if it's true, but I'd rather avoid it if I can. So I just dump some. I've already seasoned the pork. This is what's left. Garlic powder, onion, and salt in here. That way when I start flipping and seasoning the meat, I don't have to touch my containers, so there's no raw chicken contamination there. So that's a tip. If you're going to season a big batch of meat or anything where you'll need to wash your hands and you don't want to get the raw meat contamination on your spice bottles, just measure it out by teaspoons or just a little bit in each in a bowl. Mix it up, and then as you cut, like once I get this cut, I'll sprinkle it and I'll flip them all over, sprinkle it, and then they'll go in this pan, which leads me to another tip. I do a lot of freezer cooking for myself and some friends of mine, so I have often a lot of those metal, aluminum pans, and they come with these plastic lids. And I don't know about you guys, but they are so flimsy. These are rather thicker because I paid a little bit more for the pans that came here, but most of the time they are a little bit thin, and they don't stay on the pans well. So I just cover my aluminum pans with lots of heavy-duty foil, and I don't use these. So what I use these for is you can keep them and use them for prep containers, and then you can wash them out, put them out, and reuse them, or you can just wash them and then throw them away, or just throw them away. in the trash if you don't want to reuse them once you prep. But they're excellent for this kind of batch cooking where I'll be taking it out to the grill, putting the raw meat on and coming back. Then I can just rinse these and throw them away. And then when the meat is cooked, I will put those on a clean plate or cookie sheet to bring it back in. I won't put them back in here. So that's just a tip. If you have those aluminum pans and these are flimsy, just keep those for prep. You know, if you want to find a double use. I like finding double use for things and not just wasting them or throwing them away. And hey, I paid for these when I paid for the pan, so I want to use them. So that is my meat. I'm going to finish prepping the chicken, and then I'll show you how I prep my grill outside. This is super simple cooking. My hubby is sick, so he won't be grilling, and mostly I do all the grilling. Because I love doing it. So let me get this finished and we'll jump outside. Okay, now I'm outside preparing our little grill. It's nothing fancy. It's just a little grill. We need to get a new one because I love to grill, and hopefully one day I'll have one of those larger ones, you know, that has, I don't know, anyway, a larger grill. And I really want to invest in a smoker this summer, so hopefully I'll be able to do some videos on how to smoke some meat because we love smoked meat. But today, just a simple grill that my mother-in-law gave us. She was getting rid of, and ours had seen better days because it was one we had bought years ago at Walmart, and I had used it to death. So my mother-in-law gave us this one. I'm just going to show you. I just use instant light charcoal. We do like charcoal better than gas, just the flavor of it to us. We enjoy it better. So I just bought a cheap old brand of charcoal. Right now I'm in my garage because the sun is too bright out there to be able to see myself recording. So I honestly just picked up this little instant light bag of charcoal. It's 3.3 pounds. I got it from, I'm trying to remember, I think I got this from 10 Box, which is just a local grocery store here. I believe it's a division of Harps, but that may be just an Arkansas grocery store. But it was $2.65 for this bag, and so I used probably about 3/4 of it because I'm going to be cooking a large batch, and I don't want my fire to die down or get too cold to finish cooking the proteins to the proper temperature because it is pork and chicken, so I need to make sure they hit the right temperatures. If you're unsure about that, just Google. The government has a food safety. Just Google what temperature to cook pork and chicken to, and that will tell you. And you can get meat thermometers pretty cheap these days. I think I got mine for like 88 cents at my discount grocery store. But anyway, rabbit trail, sorry. I'm just going to show you the grill. Hopefully the sun won't be too bright and you can see that. And then I have all my meat prepped inside, and I'm going to start putting it on first after the fire dies down. And the coals are great because that's what you want them to be. You don't want to put it on there when there's lots of flames because you'll burn your meat and char it before it's done in the middle. So just keep in mind that I'm not a grill expert. I just love to grill. I love to batch cook this way during the summer months when it's hot outside. I don't want to heat the house up and run my air bill up. So this is the way that I like to find my proteins on sale. Like these chicken breasts for 79 cents a pound. The pork I got for 79 cents a pound also when they were on sale. And I bulk shop and put those in my deep freeze. So then it's really affordable for us to grill and have a lot of good proteins. If you want to do it more frugally and you cannot find those cheap sales, you can do chicken legs. They're really inexpensive and they are fantastic on the grill. That is the way I like chicken legs. I'm not a huge dark meat fan, but I do like it grilled. So chicken thighs, sausages, hot dogs, whatever your family prefer that fits your eating plan, you can grill it and batch cook. So enough of my rambling. I'm going to get this fire started so I can get my meat on. Hey, you guys, first grilling batch cook of the summer or the spring. So excited. So my coals are still really hot. I'm going to give them a few more minutes, and then I'm going to put my first batch of meat, which is the pork steaks, because I think they'll take a little bit longer than everything else. So I'll show you when I put those on in just a second. Got my first batch of pork on there. You want to leave some opening. I've learned that you need to not suffocate your fire. I've learned that the hard way. I've put so much meat on here thinking, oh, I'll get it done real fast. Then I think I suffocate my fire by not getting some air, or at least that's what I've read may happen. So I just put a few pieces on at a time, and it should take me probably about 3 batches, and I should have all the meat done. So here's batch 1. I'm going to close the lid and let it start cooking. And I have the top open, and then we'll just get to work. I'll be back in a few minutes to show you when I flip it. Alright guys, so I'm out here to turn over these pork chops. I've already turned over these. One tip I wanted to get you is that if these don't pick up and turn real easy, ooh, I got that one a little too dark, so I'm going to move it off that hot heat real fast. if they don't come up without sticking, I'm going to do the same for that. I like a little bit of the char, but I don't want them to get too dark. So if they get like that and you don't like that, you can move them off the heat because it's really, really hot, so you don't want to burn them. These others are thinner. These were just the pork chops, and you can see that they are done. So I put those over to the side. I don't know if you can see it because the sun is so hard out here. But I am going to finish cooking these thicker ones. I'm going to take those small ones off. Nate, will you bring me that pan, please? The pan I have for the meat. Now, and Nate's out here with me. As these finish cooking, we're just sitting out here enjoying the beautiful spring-like day. Here's one. We're just going to add it to the pan. And I will keep these wrapped in foil in the pan here while these others cook. I'm just going to move these over to this side a little bit off the direct heat. And these will cook a little while longer. And then I'll add my chicken and some more of the pork chops. So it's smelling wonderful, isn't it, Nate? There's my helper. All right. See you guys in a minute. Totally got distracted right there in that last clip. What I was saying, I don't think I said it, so I'm going to say it again. If I did, just look over my rambling. The meat, when it's on the grill, if it's hard to flip, if it's stuck and doesn't flip easier, I've read that means it's not ready to be flipped. So once it cooks, it kind of releases itself from the grill grate in my experience. So I believe that's correct. So if you go to flip your protein and it's sticking a little bit, then just let it set a little bit longer and cook, and it should flip over when it's ready to flip. So that's a tip I've learned. I think I learned that from Food Network, Bobby Flay maybe, or one of the grill masters. And so now that I stick to that tip, it really helps. So that's the tip I was going to share earlier in the other clip when I flipped the pork chops, and I forgot, got distracted. So I'll be back in a few minutes when I take these off and put more chicken in. See you guys later. Okay, guys, I took the pork chops off, and now I've got the second batch of my batch cooking, which is my chicken tenders. These I'm going to watch pretty closely. I don't want those to dry out, and plus we will be microwaving them or heating them in the oven when we're ready to eat them, so I don't want them to overcook. So there we have it. I'll show you when I put the last batch on, which is another batch of the thin cut pork chops. I just pull the chicken off. There's the pork steaks. A little dark out here, but I'm just going to cover these with foil now so that they stay warm. And then I'm going to put this last batch of pork chops on the grill, and I'll show you what they look like when I get them over and flipped. Guys, here is what all the protein looks like. There's the grilled chicken tenders. There are the thin grilled pork chop with bones, and then over here are the larger, thicker pork steaks. You can see how those are a little bit thicker. So I cooked those first, and then I cooked the chicken tenders, and then the bone-in pork chops. And now I'm going to divide these up into 2 or 3 meals, maybe 2 larger meals with leftovers, or 3 meals for us. And then if you wanted to, you could freeze some of it if you weren't going to eat it in the next few days. But we will eat this over the next, I'd say, 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days. And so I'm just going to bag it up in airtight, like Ziploc bags, and put it in the freezer, and we'll reheat it either wrapped in foil in the oven or just in the microwave probably. So that is how I batch cook my protein. And I am about to get this divided up so that I can head to work and know that when I get off tonight, our dinner will be ready. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.